What is up, guys, and welcome back to another G35 video. In this video we're going to be focusing on installing brakes on the G35. So the brakes I decided to go on are from R1 Concepts. The price is really good, so I decided to snatch some up. And I also got the front and rear brakes. So here are the rotors, just your plain rotors. Didn't need any slotted or drilled. I'm not gonna be going crazy with the car, so I don't need it. The 2003 to 2004 G35s did come with Brembos as standard. They needed to be manual only. The price that I paid for everything, front and rear brake pads, rotors, and hardware was $200. That is an amazing price. So here are all the tools that I bought to have, just because I don't have a lot of tools at all. So I ended up buying some impact sockets. I ended up buying an impact from Harbor Freight. Let's see how that works. I bought some torque wrenches. I bought a little bleeder suction kit and brake fluid, and I bought some wrenches. So this is gonna be my first time tackling on some fixed calipers. I've never done fixed calipers. I've done the other kind, but I've never done fixed, and today is the day I'm gonna learn. Real quick, guys, I just wanted to show you my left rear tire. I was doing some burn skis, I was doing some donuts, and I destroyed the inside tread. I can almost feel cord right here. So first things first, what you want to take off is these little clips. Jesus Christ. You want to remove them, you can use some pliers or a flathead and pop them off. After, we are going to tap this out, this whole thing out, and it'll come out from this side of the back. Same thing with this one. Tap it, comes out all the way in the back. Then we should be able to remove the hardware. I already went ahead and I can fit my whole hand. I pushed back the pistons for the calipers. It has two right here and two on this side. So I pushed them back already, so I don't have to worry about trying to push them back and buy a tool for that. Already did it with just a screwdriver and a brake pad. Now that I took off the 12mm screws, I have the two 22, so there's one right here and another one right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and tackle them with an impact, and let's see how easy they come out. Now that we took off the two 22 mils, they're on the floor. It was kind of a pain to take it off with this impact, just because the impact is so huge. Like, if you could cut this off, that would be perfect, but obviously since it's electric, it needs the motor. You guys can see there is some residue and it is oily. So they do come oiled so they don't rust. It's kind of to protect, you know, the rotor. So make sure you clean it. Now that I put the rotor back on, I put a lug nut just to hold it, and now we're gonna do the opposite of what we were doing to take off. So we're gonna put the 22 mils back in, then we're gonna put the 12s, then we'll go ahead and knock out the brake pads. So the 22 mils that mount the caliper onto it are supposed to be torqued, so they are torqued from 112 to 114 in the front, and then the rear is another one. I'll put it on screen right now, but just make sure you torque it properly because you want these to be on there. Went ahead and put all the hardware on, everything brand new. Made sure I put the little cotter pins inside again. Remember that, that's a crucial step. Make sure the whole thing doesn't just fly off. Everything went in smoothly, there's no issues. Everything is torqued that needs to be torqued, and now it's time to go to the next caliper in the rear. It's been a couple hours, and now we're gonna go ahead and tackle the rear. I did the other side of the rear just to get the hang of it, and that way I can explain it thoroughly. This is the last one now that I need to finish up the brakes. And yeah, it's been pretty easy. Nothing's stripped, nothing's been overly difficult to do. The rear is a little different though, as I'll show you guys right now, but for the most part, simple brake job. We're gonna take off all of the hardware that is here, same thing as in the front, and there are two bolts in the back, same thing, which are a 19 millimeter. So you'll want to get a 19 for that. I can't fit the impact in the back because look at this behemoth. No way is this gonna fit here. So I have to use either a breaker bar or a torque wrench. I'm using a torque wrench because I don't have a breaker bar. I don't recommend that, but in a pinch, it does help. Alright guys, so final thoughts on the R1 Concepts brakes. For $200, you really can't go wrong. I'm sure it's a little bit less for the regular brakes. These are Brembo brakes, so they need a little bit bigger rotors and brake pads as well. For $200 overall, it was not a bad deal at all because other kits that are, you know, brake rotors and pads are a little over that, so like around the 300 350 mark. Go ahead and check them out. I'm not getting paid for this, but I just wanted to share that because it's a cost-effective way to replace all your brakes. And yeah, I wish I'd known about this sooner. There are a couple gripes that I have with the brakes. Excuse my disgusting rim. One thing is that the non-painted rotors get rusted really fast, so it makes them look like they've been on the car forever when you've had them for like a month or two, you know? And honestly, the only other gripe that I have with the brakes is that they don't bite as hard as the ones that I had prior to. They don't have that initial bite that the other brakes had. I did go with their OE specifications for the brake pad, so I should have gone with something a little more performance if I wanted to get that bite. If you guys are looking for better performance on braking, definitely go with the performance versions that they have on the brake pad. The one really good thing I like about these brakes that I forgot to mention is there's minimal brake dust. I never see any brake dust with the ones prior to these that I had on the car. They actually had quite a bit of brake dust. These don't have any at all that I can see when I'm driving around. I'll wash my car and in like 2 weeks I barely see anything. Alright guys, so if you guys did enjoy this video, give it a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you guys in the next video on the G35. Peace.